This, what you come down, is my plot. So I wanted the whole down below as vacant. So I just had a small building portion and I projected the whole building outside. The whole plot down below became a plaza and rest is just history. So that is how it looks from back. So the back is straight, that's my food court. Another one for again a purpose. Hemmed between two buildings, and it was a software development center, which I wanted when the guy comes to my building, I want to sell him the software before he comes. So what was this? This was a big eye, that's the man, huh? This is a big eye, and when the man is walking towards you, his name would come on this, welcome so-and-so, so-and-so, and he's a banker, so that software will be projected on this, and solution will come like that. So before you and I take him to a conference room and show him, he is already convinced. We showed that to Mr. Murthy, he approved it, and we made a building. Then the building was in a very tight site, so we made the whole roof as a green roof. We separated the administrative side from the working side. Now these are small nitty-gritties, but the main concept has to have a very, very definite reason. That's how the thing looks from inside. Okay. I was not doing any work for Infosys. I always wanted to do work for Infosys, and this was the first building that I did for Infosys. Mind you, since Infosys has a very, very tight budget, here this building is still not complete because we had some lures and so many details. So when I met Mr. Narayan Murthy in Taj Hotel, and I said that, sir, I would like to present something, and he said, okay. So this was the Software Development Center, and when I did this and I presented it, I said, sir, it's like a dew drop, and something, when you have a Software Development Center, it should inculcate imagination amongst your people. And I showed him this sketch and the perspective, he liked it, and we constructed this. So this was my first building for him. That's how it looks in close-up. And the other shots of other buildings in the campus. These are some other software development centers. That's the hostel, which is a 4,000 room hostel. That's the gym, and these are the areas which are the breakout areas from all of these corridors. Some of these are on the other side. Detail of that. This is Pune campus. That's your dining hall. Okay. Now this is the building which my friend Karan hates it. Okay, we had already designed this, we call it SDB5, which is for Infosys in Mysore only, and which is, I would say, half a furlong or 2 furlongs away. Constructed, and everybody is using it, very happy. And we were supposed to do the Global Educational Center, that is this, for which we had given a completely a different design. And that's what Mr. Narayan Murthy selected after we presented to him. Now, I am saying, okay, now let's talk about 1 minute for what is honest architecture and what is dishonest architecture. A lot of people say that, this is all rubbish. You should never do it like that. When classical architecture, or when this was practiced, it was done for a specific reason. The system of construction was of that type, and columns, beams, everything was in stone, wood, and what came about, all the details and everything came about for a definite reason, and that was the functionality. Okay? This is also a functionality, but with a different material. Now today, when I'm saying that I get steel, glass, I get stone, I get concrete, I get all kind of materials. When this was getting constructed, the guy never had any other option. This was the only way of building. So, whether he liked it or didn't like it, this is what he had to have it. Now today, I can construct anything because the materials are there. But if a fellow says that I like this kind of a work, should I do it or should I not do it? Now I would answer and say, I would gladly do it. A lot of you might say, oh, horrible, I will not do it. But that's left to you. Okay? How I design. I think I find the best time to design is in the flight, because there's nobody to disturb, no phones, nothing. And I always take the Share Bazaar ka paper because that's got the smallest print, and on that you draw anything in a felt pen, it comes out very well. So these are the sketches that were done for this building. I design and I write some dimensions, and when I come back to office, I tell one of my associates, oh, just draft this thing out, and once it is drafted out, I make some changes, and that is the building. That is how I do it that way. I don't have some great theories and great, somebody says, oh, I saw a dream and I saw this and I saw that. I don't get dreams, but I just get an idea and I do it. And this is how it looks. Mind you, this building was inaugurated by Mrs. Gandhi. Oh, that's it. And we were told that she's going to be here only for half an hour. Nobody should give her a cup of tea. Nobody should, nothing, and she's going to fly off. And when she came at about 9 and she left at 3:30. Not only forget the cup of tea, she sat with us and had lunch, talked to everyone, and in fact she said that I am feeling, I don't feel like going back to Delhi. I'm so happy over here. And that's some of the photographs of the inauguration ceremony. That's Mr. Narayan Murthy, me in the middle, and Mohandas Pai on the side. I think everybody looks very, very young. Huh? Okay, this is one hotel. I'm sure you have gone to Sahar at the international airport. This hotel is done by us. This hotel is done by us. There's only a 40 feet road in the middle separating two. Glass, steel, granite, stone, nothing else. Now, one client wanted a traditional building. I'm happy to give it. One client wanted a very, very contemporary building. I'm happy to give it. And not only that, there is another building which is done at the back, which is a completely different style. Because that wanted, the guy wanted another one. And then we have done a fourth building behind, which is for Blue Dart, which was also a classical building. ITC Hotel at this near Dadar. Now, when this client came to me, he said that I want the whole Mumbai architecture to be represented in my building. And what is Mumbai's traditional architecture is the Gothic architecture, which everybody feels that the High Court and all those buildings over there, that is what he wanted. So we gave it to him. We did the whole building in exposed brick. We imported the exposed brick from abroad because in India we don't get such good exposed brick. And all the details. Now, see, once you accept a style, I feel that then you should go all out and get to that in the finest detail. Beverly Park, done for a reason. Over here, we wanted this was one of my first residential buildings we did for DLF in Delhi, where all the buildings were cladded in red Agra stone and Dholpur stone, and we wanted to completely get away from it. So we started with this Spanish style in Delhi, and it became a big success. After that, we did so many. Then another type of a building, DLF West End, we did it in a Gothic style. Okay. Now, why I do this? Okay. As I said it, different people like different things. Like some of you are from South, they will say, oh, we like this. You may have masala dosa for your breakfast, and somebody will have fried eggs for his breakfast, and somebody will have cornflakes. You know, it's like what you like. Okay, and it's to me, I feel that if you have to understand everyone, you have to see what they talk, how they dress, what they like, and if you can give that, that would be the best thing. Rather than, I do this and I don't want to do anything else. Mind you, you'll have a lot of flake from a lot of your own friends. Okay. But as I'm saying, I'm here to tell you what I'm doing for all you I know of. You might say that this man is a crazy man, I'm never going to work like that. Fine. But I'm making it obvious to you. Don't work it. Okay? Then you select one segment and do it. Fine, you do that. Nobody's stopping you. But this is the way I work. Okay? And I say that, now tell me, now what she has an understanding of a house is completely different from what this guy has an understanding of a house. This, I would say is a Bangalore IT guy. His house, I will design it in a completely different way. When I design a residential building in Bangalore, I do it differently. When I design a residential building in Mumbai, in one of the suburbs, I do it differently, and in another suburb, I do it differently. Because the people are different. In some areas, the living room has to be big. In some areas, the kitchen has to be big. In some areas, they don't want the kitchen to be big. And if you don't do it, it won't sell. And if it doesn't sell, that means, the guy is not appreciating it. So you are not doing the right justice. So different people want different things, and you have to cater to that. Different beliefs. Some fellow, that guy says south entry is good. That fellow says north entry is good. In Vastu also, they have, 20-25 years back, I never even heard of what was Vastu. Today, the first thing everybody says, oh, your plans have to be Vastu compliant. Now, you may say, I don't believe in it. A big segment of your clientele circle is gone. You better believe in it, because 90% of the people today believe in it. We are doing a building right now and working jointly with Foster. Okay, so 400 and some 40 meter high building. It will be one of the world's tallest residential building. But the plans have to be at least 50% Vastu compliant. Master bedroom has to be on southwest. Your kitchen has to be on southeast. All of that has to be done, and the entrances has to be only east and west. Now you can't say that you don't believe in that. The whole world believes in it. So you have to consider their beliefs, lifestyles. Okay, that's one segment of the story. Environment. Today, everything that we are doing and everything that we do will have a repercussion on your environment. And if you do not consider environment and if you do not take care of it, I think you are doing the biggest injustice to the whole human community. And this is a very, very old saying that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. So, whatever you have, we have borrowed it from the future generation. So when you leave and when you depart, at least leave that place in that same condition or a better condition. Don't destroy it. And this is an old African saying. Ishan? Okay, a lot of you might be thinking and saying that about me, that there's a very nice saying, na? Dilli so chue kha ke haj pe chali. But it's not so, okay? Yes, let's say like that, that when I started work, or when I was in college, that was 1968, there was nothing about environment or nothing about anything of that talked about. And everyone, including me and everyone, and I'm sure every friend of mine, thought that oil, water, everything, wood, everything is a resource which is never going to get depleted. And we used to use it the way we liked. But whatever it is, at least I have been quite conscious, and before the first green building started, and there was something like the thing called the green building, we had presented to Mr. Narayan Murthy that how his campuses could be done. Is it that? Yeah. Just showed now. We had presented to Mr. Narayan Murthy, and there was nothing like green building even. The word was coined, and I showed it to Mr. Narayan Murthy and said that, sir, we should design all our campuses like that. Because when he wanted to do a campus in China, he sent me over there. And when I went to China, like whenever you go to see a site, the guy comes early morning, picks you up by 7:30, and we drove in a car. And we drove for about an hour, hour and a half or 2 hours. Part of the time I didn't want to sleep, but anyway, he was driving at a breakneck, got some speed, and finally we landed up at a place, and the highway stopped. It was some 6-lane highway, and it just suddenly stopped in the middle of all fields and forest. And I said, where is the site? Here. So I said, all farming going on, everything. He said, all farmland. He says, yeah, in 6 months nothing will be there, and the road will go, there will be plots, and that's your campus. And I was very, very, very disturbed. And I came back and gave a proposal to Mr. Narayan Murthy, which is quite a different one. But this was another proposal I had given it to him for his campus in Hyderabad. I said that, see, we are taking, whether it's a farmland or a forest land, it's a land which we are just gobbling. Okay? But I said to myself, yes, the population is increasing, we have to create jobs, we have to create a place for people to work. So how do you combine both? And that was a sketch that, that was a sketch which I drew in one of the flights, again the same paper. And I said that the buildings will be flying up in the air with some pillow, and that the forest is all down below. Or like say, there is a mango orchard. So many people come to us and say, oh, there's a mango field, and we are going to destroy it and make buildings. I said, why don't we just have the buildings on top? Yes, it will cost you double. It will cost you double, but just then think about it, that your mango orchard remains, and you get a place to work remains, okay? And looking at the future, the amount of kind of diseases that we create, like now we have this new virus, because the green spaces are getting depleted. Now that was a concept given before even the green movement started. So a lot of times when a lot of people talk about green buildings, and I say, that is not that important. To me, preserving land, that is important. Today we are talking about green buildings. We are talking about what? Energy. Energy, this consumes so much energy, this consumes so much. Tomorrow we will have a different way of producing energy. Okay? So that, yes, we must consume less energy. We must not waste it. But one thing which cannot be replaced is land. Land is the most precious commodity. You spend anything, you're not going to create more land than what it is. So use the land most judiciously. Use the land most judiciously. That's why for years and years and years, I have been clamoring and saying Mumbai should have more FSI. When Mumbai was having one FSI and we are wasting our land. Once Mr. Manoj Joshi was flying in from Bombay to Delhi or God knows where, and I was also there. And I told him, sir, you are committing a crime. He said, what? I said, you are not increasing the FSI. So he said, well, Mr. Hafeez, what should be the FSI be? So I said, sir, you should make an FSI of 8. He said, you have guts to tell me to increase the FSI to 8? I said, yes, sir. You are committing a crime. And if you think that I'm making a story, his biography, he's written that thing. Okay? So today, Mumbai is thinking of making an FSI of 3 and 3.5. Already 4 is already there. We are going to go to 6, but a lot of activists and everybody thinks that whatever we are increasing the FSI, it's for the benefit of the builder. No, the first few months the builder will definitely gain, because it is like when you have a famine and a farmer grows wheat, he will gain because